I say 10 years ago, my thyroid went off the deep end, and I was just getting more and more tired. So I went to a primary care physician, and they said, yep, classic female over 65, and if you take levothyroxine at a small dosage, you'll be okay. That was 10. Okay, and then at year 8, I'm like, why am I still sort of tired? I'm falling back into this. And they said, well, okay, we'll up the dosage. Okay, you'll be okay. That worked for a couple of years. And having been prior military, I also had to go to the VA. And generally, their comment was, well, you've got to eat less and exercise more. And we get into the victim blaming here. That's the first year. In the second year, it's eat less, exercise more, and drink more water. And then year number 3, it's eat less, exercise more, drink more water, and get more sleep. Back to the other doctor, the civilian doctor, okay, and they said, well, how about you take 1.5 on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday of this levothyroxine, and that should work for you. So once I got tired of that, I started looking into, well, maybe some weight loss would certainly help. Okay? Back to the VA, and their point is you're not sick enough. And I was like, what does that mean? Let's talk about that. And their comment was, we get 25 cents, okay? And our circle of influence is very small on 25 cents. And you're not in that because you're not a diabetic. You don't have high blood pressure. You're not a heart candidate, and you're not a stroke candidate. And you don't have 36% body fat. So you don't measure, okay? You're not sick enough. If we get $10, we can expand the circle, and we can lessen all of those things, and maybe we can include you. And it's like, thank you, okay. In the meantime, you're welcome to a dietitian. Okay, thank you. Yeah, no, all right. Back to the other doc, all right? And I asked for some help on that, and they gave me a dietitian, and I said, well, I must be missing it because there's a theme there. I've now been given 2. And so that dietitian wanted $150 clear up front. I said, this is a referral. No, we're not associated with that group, so you have to pay us up front. No, okay, we're done. So I went home and I saw some commercial on YouTube, and there was a woman standing there. She says, let me get this straight. You are female, over 65. You've been told to take levothyroxine. Every year it increments a little bit more. You're tired. Okay, you cannot lose weight, regardless of what they've told you, which is to eat less, exercise more, drink more water, and get more sleep. And I just stopped right there, and I looked at it. I said, that's it. She knows exactly. Why would I not call this place? Why would I not? So I called, and I came down and had a great interview, and I said, yeah, I think I can do this. I would say my experience has been totally positive. Now, there's a couple of challenges on medications your first couple of weeks, but once you get through that and figure out, well, yeah, that's why this is happening. This is what I'm gonna give up for this period of time. It was no problem giving up some of this stuff. I mean, the classic, let's be clear, cookies, cake, ice cream, alcohol, all those carbohydrate, sugar-laden items that you have once in a while, okay, but after a while, I wasn't interested in those at all. So this has been really effective for me. But I just get so annoyed when I started to think about the number of people that told me, eat less, exercise more. Well, if I'm already exhausted, why this isn't going to work for me? So you get down to a caloric diet, an intake of 1,000 calories, and then you're trying to run or jog, whatever, or walk a couple of miles a day. Your body just doesn't have enough. And the body resorts to, famine time. Okay, we're not giving up anything. So all this help that I'm supposedly given, is ridiculous because it doesn't work. It's like giving somebody the keys to the car. Here it is. Oh, and by the way, there's no gas, there's no oil in the crankcase, and there's no air in the tires. But every year you get another set of keys. Oh boy. Well, come on, folks. And your insurance doesn't cover this test, and we don't do that. So basically it was about money. It was all about money. And the regular testing, the regular coverages that I have, they don't cover it. They're there to fix what hurts at that moment, okay? And they do a great job. There's a place for that medicine. But I need a bigger picture. I need people that are going to help me in many venues, not just, oh yeah, my knee aches. That's not the issue I want. I want it to be able to lose some weight. And based on the numbers, I've demonstrated that I followed the instructions given to me, and I have lost weight. So good for me, but I've also put on some muscle. I'm much happier, and I do a whole lot more in terms of exercise and having fun.
That was very comprehensive. And
that.
No, truly. And I'm so sorry. I remember talking to you on the phone.
Yeah.
And the second you said, 10 years ago, first time.
Yeah. There we go.
This is good.
Voice is familiar.
Good.
Okay, good. All right.
Wait, so I really like the car analogy of the...
Yeah.
Because, that's exactly what's happening. And really, it's sick care. We're paying all this money for sick care,
right.
And that's just not what
Right.
We're preventative.
Right. Right.
You don't want to get sick. You want to not get sick.
I don't want to wait.
Exactly.
I don't want to wait.
Which is really interesting.
Yeah.
So now let's ask some surface level questions about your experience here,
okay.
Right? So like how your interaction was with our team. We can start with the discovery call, that first interview. Do you remember anything specific about that?
I do not, sorry. Not
That's
at this
okay.
age. Are you kidding me? No.
And what about that first visit here with the blood test and the in-body?
It was great. I don't have any problem donating blood, obviously, and everybody was very patient and explained everything. I truly enjoy most of the equipment that you have that tells me all kinds of details that I'm not going to get anywhere else, but it's important to know. And when your healthcare providers track all of that stuff, they'll see that, I'm definitely improving in my own health. And what's it taking? Well, a couple of shots once in a while, little change on the menu, and I'm back to rucking 2 miles every other day, with a 16-pound pack. I couldn't have done that 6 months ago. It would have been too uncomfortable.
And what about that first visit with the provider? Who do you see again?
I see Gabe.
Gabe.
Yeah.
So the first, and Gabe is ex-military too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I found out in watching your YouTube shows that.
The webinar.
Oh yeah, I see a lot of them.
That was his first one.
Yes, I did.
I was like on the other side.
Yes. Yeah, and he's the cholesterol geek now, right? And so I left him a list of questions, and one of those coming up, because I see him in a week and a half or so, and one of them was, can you get me off this Crestor crap? Yeah, come on, help me out here,
I had to tell him, I had to say, you can't answer, personalized medical questions. It's like, this is a great question.
Yeah.
I'm like, we'll do a test run.
Yeah.
I eat 5 hamburgers a day and only drink soda.
Yeah.
But I just don't feel well. What can I do? And the second he was like, well, if you change your diet, I'd be like, stop. You can't even say that.
Yeah.
Because he really wants to answer these questions.
Sure
he wants
does.
to help, and just legally we can't do it, which sucks. But I also said, Gabe, I didn't know you were ex-military.
Yeah, he's jumping out of planes or something.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Really?
Unless it's being driven by the Air Force, then I'd understand, okay? Yeah.
I was like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Tell me about cholesterol.
Yeah.
But, okay, so going into that first visit with Gabe, is there any, I know you said, I had a great experience.
Yeah, he was very patient. He understood the questions that I was asking. He understood why I was asking those questions. I don't know as I asked every question he wanted, but the ones I asked led me to the answers that I needed. Yeah. So I was happy with that. And I usually do ask him at the end, was there a question that I didn't ask that you wished I had? And that always, he's like, oh, that's a good question. I know what it is. I asked it. I give him a hard time.
I don't ask bad questions.
Yeah, yeah. I always give him a hard time. Yeah.
As he deserves.
Every once in a while, yeah. Yeah.
So do you remember feeling post that first visit, like, is there a way that you went into it versus a way that you came out of it, like thinking about your health and your direction?
Just straightforward. Here's what I see the problem as, and please understand that my background is not in the medical field. So, I may get things a little confused, say the wrong word, but you'll pick it up. You'll get it because you're there for me, and that's what I want. Because the other two places I've gone, previous to talking to Gabe, they're not there for me. If I bang my toe, they're there for me. But as far as full health spectrum, right down to the diet, they already shoved me off to 2 dietitians that had opposing views. Opposing views are good, and I can take which one I want and run with it. But the point being is that full health requires so much more than what the average person gets for healthcare today. So much more. Yeah. And I don't think people really realize it until they have someone like me, for example, and they're like, wow, what are you doing? It's a real simple question. You look great. I said, thank you. I feel great too. What are you doing? And I stop and I tell them. I said, I came in because my thyroid wasn't working, and right away they're like, you're a classic. You're over 65, da-da-da-da-da-da. Went down all the standard things, and yeah, I am a classic. Yes, thank you very much. And so we have a discussion on it. And so, like I said, I'm, pushing a couple of some acquaintances I have to start thinking about, full health. Yeah, don't wait. Why would you go through, 60 years of your life with you were here for me when I banged my toe, but what about the other part of you? And it isn't until the thyroid bit me that I decide, we got a bigger picture here, because these people aren't going to help me with the thyroid other than handing me another set of keys.
Yeah. So we find that a big thing is that we're so conditioned to trust insurance and
Absolutely.
say, we have insurance that we can get healthcare.
Absolutely.
So that these people in healthcare can help us.
Yep.
And they are just so constrained by the insurance.
That's right.
I think the stat is that they see 1,500 to 3,000 patients a year, which is you can't even know more than 100 people at the same time, like psychologically.
Yeah.
So that's like a very difficult thing. And then plus the 7-minute visit.
Yeah.
So that they can get as many people in.
Yeah, they schedule you for 30 and you talk for 7.
It's really unfortunate,
Yeah.
It's really unfortunate, and there's nothing they can even do about it.
Nope. Their business process model is covered, so it's all about the money.
It really
they
is.
Get paid. Yeah.
It really is, which is just really unfortunate.
That's it.
Is there any, part of your treatment process that you would want to talk about that you thought was interesting, that you had a hard time with, and then, really had to figure out with our team?
I would say that the jockeying of the current, call it the stub my toe medications that they give you, taking a cholesterol drug and taking this levothyroxine, the timing of it took a few weeks to be able to manipulate that correctly, because not everything gets along with everything else. So once that pattern was set, though, it became, it's just like rolling off a log. The discovery period was a challenge, because some days you'd take a levothyroxine and the same day you'd be taking a terzepatide or something. And it's not feeling all that great. So if you could separate those by hours, it worked out. Yeah. Just took a little time.
Yeah. Kind of just that. Yeah, the discovery process is a good way to say that.
Yeah.
And then I guess a last kind of question is, if you were to explain, a few more, but if you were to explain functional medicine to somebody, how would you explain it?
I would say it's everything in addition to stubbing your toe. All right. That's a stereotype I'm using with the other medications. And yes, you break your leg, you need somebody to set it. Yes, they're very important, but that's their skill set. They don't really care whether you're having broccoli and carrots or you're having 6 beers a night. They don't really care. They may ask you about it, but do they care? They're thinking to themselves, you probably should stick with the broccoli and the carrots, dude. Forget the beers, Yeah. So but that's not their mission either. Their mission is fix the problem that came in the door, whether it's the broken leg or the stub toe. They don't care whether you're doing all that other stuff. They have their personal opinion. They probably like to share it with you, may not be able to. But, if you don't take it into your own hands, nobody is going to come to you and say, let me help you. It's not going to happen, because it's all about money. So, for me, it's like, I can see that, yes, I am getting older. I know that. And I cannot hit the golf ball as far as I did 20 years ago. Nor do I expect to, but I still expect to be able to hit the golf ball. So the point is, I'm going to have to do something about it. And MedMatrix was the source of my solutions for, let's try this, let's try that, and it's working out very well. I couldn't be happier.
Amazing.
Good.
So what about if one of your friends who's on the fence, right? What would you say to them?
I would ask him what's really important to you at this point. Because if it's really important to you that you just don't feel well, do you believe that the stub your toe doctors are going to solve your problem? They're not going to, because you not feeling well isn't the source of their income, other than if you just keep going and they keep trying. Well, let's see, we'll try this, we'll try that. You got to go get a whole picture and start with your gut health. Have they ever had you do anything for gut health? You know?
Yeah.
No. What's that? Yeah. Ta-da. New conversation. All right. So, yeah. Because it's full functioning. It's not just about, oh, gee, my knee hurts. That kind of thing.
Where's it coming from?
Yeah.
Why is it hurting?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's like the cholesterol thing. Here, just take this. Why is my cholesterol high? Is it genetic? Well, there's a blood test for that. Okay. If it's not genetic, then where's it coming from? Well, there's some from food, obviously. Yeah. So, okay, what are we doing here? Let's fix it. Do you want to be on this medicine? What's the side effect of all this medicine that you take anyway? So I would like to be off of some of that. Yeah.
All right, well, I've asked all my questions. Is there anything else that you want to share?
No, I'm just grateful that you've taken the time to listen to my story, and I'm still hoping that I can get my other two potential buddies to come in here and at least talk to somebody. Yeah.
No, and I'm very lucky. I'm in a position that I get to take a lot of testimonials. And I say all the time to everyone that it really doesn't get old.
No.
Like
the
hearing everybody's story
Yeah.
and how their life has really turned around is
Yeah.
incredibly selfishly motivating to me in my job, because I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I get to see a direct impact and talk directly to the people that we're impacting. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I really appreciate it, not only sharing with us, but with me.
Sure.
Thank you.
No problem. Thanks for having me.